The Valley is one of the nation's premier NCAA basketball conferences. Now defending 2 consecutive National Invitational Tournament championships. Tonight, the Bradley Braves meet the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Live from the Assembly Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The game of the week is brought to you by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by State Farm Insurance Company. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there for help with your car, home, life, and health insurance needs. Now time for the play-by-play of Valley basketball with Wayne Larrabee and Bob Ortigal on the Missouri Valley Basketball Television Network.
This is the Tulsa Assembly Center, close to a full house on hand for the rematch as Bradley visits Tulsa. Of great importance in this game here tonight, the inside game, the front lines. When Bradley beat Tulsa last month, they out-rebounded the Golden Hurricane 36-27, led by sophomore Anthony Webster.
6'7", he wears number 33, Wayne. He's out of Cairo, Illinois. In that win over Tulsa in Peoria, he had 10 of those 36 rebounds. And if Bradley is to make a stretch drive and get ready for postseason tournament action, Webster must get his act together.
Now, when Tulsa played up in Peoria against Bradley, they did not have their center, Bruce Vanley, due to injury. But earlier in the year, Vanley, with big performances over highly regarded Oklahoma and North Carolina, helped propel the Golden Hurricane to victories.
I believe he's the key player for Tulsa. Steve Harris may be their finest player and their best player, but I believe that Vanley's the key. Against North Carolina, now the #1 team in collegiate basketball, he had 23 points and 11 rebounds. He has missed 4 games this year for the Golden Hurricane. They have lost 3 of them. That tells us something.
All right, now the coaching story. Dick Versace has brought 3 fine teams in here to the Assembly Center, and he's come up a loser all 3 times, but his trips have been memorable, I might add.
They certainly have. The man with the notable quotes, certainly, and the colorful expletives and enough courtside antics to really entertain a Hollywood producer. However, don't forget that in the last 3 years, the man has won 2 Missouri Valley Conference championships and 1 on NIT championship. But as you say, he's never won at Tulsa.
Okay, Nolan Richardson here at Tulsa in his 2.5 years has built a home floor record of 41-1. That's incredible.
Well, he's got a tremendous coaching record. 2 years ago in 1980, his Western Texas Junior College team went 37-0, and they won the National Junior College Championship. He moved on to Tulsa, brought along 4 starters, and they won the National Invitational Tournament Championship in New York, and he has set an NCAA record. He is the first coach in NCAA history to win 50 games in his first 2 years.
Okay, Bradley leads this series 47-19, but I might add, they have not won here in Tulsa since 1977. Back with the starting lineups after these messages from your local stations. Play and the Golden Hurricane 12-8 overall, 6-5 in conference play. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for tonight's starting lineups as Bradley meets Tulsa on the Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week. At the forwards for Bradley, a 6'7" sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, number 34, Boise Winters. For Tulsa, a 6'8" senior, Muskogee, Oklahoma, number 40, Steve Ballard. At the other forward, Bradley starts a 6'4" junior, Ocala, Florida, number 21, Roosevelt Davison. Tulsa calls on a 6'7" junior, Wichita, Kansas, number 24, Ricky Ross. At the center position for the Braves, a 6'7" sophomore, Cairo, Illinois, number 33, Anthony Webster. For the Hurricane, a 6'10" junior, Phoenix, Arizona, number 53, Bruce Vanley. At the guards, Bradley calls on a 5'11" senior, Chicago, Illinois, number 3, Willie Scott. Tulsa looks to a 6'5" sophomore, Blue Springs, Missouri, number 20, Steve Harris. At the other guard, the Braves start a 6'3" senior, Joliet, Illinois, number 40, Barney Mines. And for Tulsa, a 6'2 junior from Hobbs, New Mexico, number 22, Mike Smith. The coaches for Bradley, Dick Versace, and at Tulsa in his third year, Nolan Richardson. We'll be back with the opening tap. This is the Missouri Valley Television Network. Opening tap at center court. It's polka dot night here, as you might expect, in Tulsa. That's Boise Winners on the left side of your screen. On the right side, Bruce Vanley. Tap at center court. Ron Zetcher with the basketball. And the tap controlled by the Golden Hurricanes. Steve Harris brings it down. Inside, Ballard in traffic. Nice move. So Tulsa draws first blood off the opening tap. This is Willie Scott. Scott's had an up and down year. Not quite the consistency that he had last year, but he's playing with a different cast this year.
That has an awful lot to do with it too, Wayne.
From the corner, Boise Winners for two, and we're tied.
Tulsa playing a zone. If they're going to play the zone, they're going to have to get to Winners. He's an excellent outside shooter, 15 to 18 feet.
This is Mike Smith, number 22 for the Golden Hurricanes. Willie Scott nearly poked it away, and Smith loses it out of bounds. Dick Versace and Tony Barone on the Bradley bench. Willie Scott with that great quickness, not only as an offensive player, Bob, but as a defensive player.
Well, he does so many things for his basketball team. Let me mention right now at the top of the show that both these teams are ready to play. You can see the emotion, you can feel it. It's here. There's electricity in this place tonight. This is a very, very good rivalry. It'll be a good basketball game.
That's Winners' distance, and again, he's got his second from the field and 4 points.
You cannot let him shoot that. If you're going to play a zone, I'm sure Tulsa will tighten it up.
Boise Winners 18 points last year in the Missouri Valley season finale at Robertson Fieldhouse. Game the Braves were able to win and thus won the regular season championship. We've got a foul coming up. It's on Barney Mines trying to fight through a pick. Pulled over Steve Ballard. Nolan Richardson looks on.
The man who started the polka dot theme in Tulsa. A good look at Nolan's polka dot shirt and consequently polka dot night here. Coach Versace of Bradley, a good look at him talking with the official. He's still up there talking to him.
That's Ricky Ross on the inbounds. Mike Smith running the ball club. Steve Harris had a string where he scored about 29 points a game. 5 games in a row till that string was snapped against Drake on Thursday night. Harris been playing very well. Barney Mines the rebound for Bradley, and he races it out of the backcourt. Both teams like to run when they can.
Bradley playing a very effective man-to-man defense at the other end of the floor. There it is again.
Boise Winners. Yes. He's got all 6 Bradley points.
There'll be an adjustment, I am sure, very quickly on the part of the defense of Tulsa.
Tulsa on offense. Vanley with the feed to Ballard for 2. Ballard has all 4 Tulsa points.
Very good execution on Tulsa's part offensively. They clear out the backside. What that means is you take away the help side defense. You clear it out. You overload one side of the floor. When they front the pivot man, you go with the lob.
Got the zone going, Coach, and Scott over the zone. Can't make it go. Ballard the rebound. Tulsa quickly into the transition. This is Ricky Ross. Smith down low. Vanley in the pivot, and we've got a whistle before the shot attempt. A foul coming up before the shot by Bruce Vanley. Anthony Webster guilty of a holding foul. That is the first on Webster, second of the team. Apparently that's on Willie Scott, not Anthony Webster. Steve Harris for 2. So we are tied. 17:23 left to go, first half. These are the Bradley Braves. Barney Mines. Good shooting in the opening minutes of play.
Mines floats that baseline against zone defenses, much like Mitchell Anderson used to do for Bradley.
Harris, the rejection by Winners, but score the field goal. The ball on its downward flight.
Goaltending, and very definitely a good call. Here it is, a good move by Harris, one-on-one. The ball is up, headed down, and the goaltending is committed.
Tie ball game, Barney Mines. Boise Winners now. Bradley working the basketball. Willie Scott the penetration, the feed to Davison. Willie Scott doing what he does best, and Davison his first field goal. Tulsa quickly right back at it. From three-point range, Ricky Ross.
What a job Nolan Richardson has done with Ricky Ross, and I believe that the biggest part of that job has been accomplished off the floor, not on it. He's playing better because he's been handled properly away from the game.
Bradley on offense, trailing by a point.
Scott playing very well against that zone from the point, making things happen.
Boise winners. Comes up short. Davison had a shot at it. Mines did also. The ball still loose, and Barney Mines finally comes up with a rebound. So the Braves reload the offense. Inside Davison, and we've got a foul coming up. Credit the feed by Willie Scott for triggering that foul. What a beautiful pass inside.
Foul is on Steve Ballard.
Ballard's guilty of his first personal. That's the first on the team.
Both teams are 5 for 6 from the field. Red hot shooting here tonight so far.
Both teams, Bob, playing well coming into tonight's game. Bradley lost by just 2 points down in New Mexico. Tulsa's won 6 of 7. This is Willie Scott, number 3. Beautiful move by Scott.
Great body control, good penetration. The reason he was able to do that was he headed toward Winners, and the man on the zone came out because Winners has hit those 3 shots. They're clearing out that backside again, Tulsa is.
Last 2 NIT champions on the floor here tonight.
What a credit to the Missouri Valley Conference.
Ricky Ross, nice move. Ross has 5 points.
In the last 2 years, the best basketball team to play in the NIT in Madison Square Garden, both those teams are playing right here tonight.
2-3 zone by the Hurricane. Mines from deep, and that's a 3-pointer. So we're seesawing here in this first half of play. Right back at it, Harris. Yes. Harris has 6.
Must be some radar in that basketball, Wayne. My goodness.
Barney Mines, nice pass to Davison. Davison just lost it. Now to be Tulsa basketball when we resume, and we've got a red-hot first half underway. 14:51 left to be played in the first half in Tulsa. We're tied up. Back after these local messages.
Lousy color. Rolling pictures. Half the time it doesn't work. Oh, that does it. We need a new TV.
Sweetheart, relax. ABC Rental makes it a snap. There, we rent a color console, 25-inch picture. RCA, Zenith, Quasar, and Sylvania. Some cable ready, plus an option to own.
How much?
No big down payment, low rent, no credit hassle, service and delivery included.
That's a snap in the right direction.
ABC makes life better with 3 convenient locations, east, west, and south.
A Ranger never takes the easy way out.
You're reaching deep inside you for things you've never known.
Go!
That's why getting into the Rangers is tough, and the training is tough.
Be all that you can be.
So it makes me feel like I'm part of something really special.
Be all that you can be.
And I'm not the only one.
You can do it in the Army.
Car rental, you'll enjoy national attention, and that means top quality cars. That's why National features GM cars like the Buick Regal. It also means super low, unlimited free mileage rates. Call National Car Rental at the Tulsa National Airport to get the national attention you deserve.
Why does Bradley have only 2 rebounds and Tulsa only 1? The answer is easy. Bradley has shot 7 for 9 from the field. Tulsa 7 for 8. There are no rebounds to be had.
Golden Hurricane on offense. Mike Smith, number 22. What a difference he's made. When he's been injured, Tulsa has struggled. Smith. Smith gets it back. Webster takes it away. Willie Scott's got a 2-on-1.
He made a great fake with a basketball. He gave a little head fake to Winners on his left. The defensive player moved over, and he took it all the way to the hole like you should do.
And, Coach, the Bradley people told me he's been struggling at times this year. Doesn't look like it tonight.
He's playing very well. Both teams playing very well here.
Harris on the feed inside, and a foul coming up on Barney Mines, and he can't believe it. That's the second foul on Mines. Third on the team. Dick Versace upset also. Let's get another look at it.
Harris makes the penetration here. Comes on a crossover back to the left. Looked like Barney might have gotten him with his body. And the reason the Bradley bench is upset is that they have really had some foul problems on the road. Bradley's opponents have shot in Valley competition 118 more free throws than the Braves. Great play there by Tulsa.
Bruce Vanley with his first field goal in impressive fashion. And a tie ball game working. Good one going. Fine offensive play on both ends. Boise Winters Harris jumping right on him in the zone there. They'll also play his zone pretty much all night, Coach, it looks like.
Yeah, they will. I really believe that defensive decision by both coaches may be what determines the outcome of this game, the way they're playing offensively.
Bradley content to work the perimeter till something opens up down low.
Showing good patience.
Bradley Braves desperately need a win to stay in the race for first division. From the corner, this is Booker Johnson. He gets it back, and a foul on Booker Johnson, I believe. No, it's on Harris. And the crowd does not like it at all. The dots are screaming.
Well, the polka dots are for Coach Richardson, and I believe the hair was for Coach Brissett.
That is the first on Harris, the second on the team. Mines triggers the inbounds. Johnson, nice touch. So Bradley on top, but it's been a seesaw struggle throughout this first half. Just about 7 minutes in. Golden Hurricane on offense. Ricky Ross. Good position by Vanley, and he's fouled. Boise Winters the guilty party. The first on Winters, the fourth on the team.
That man, number 53 for Tulsa, the man coming off the board with this offensive rebound. You see him on the high post. As the shot is taken, he goes opposite the ball to the hot side of the board where he should go, gets the rebound, and is fouled in the process. He's the key for the Golden Hurricane if they are to really get it together yet this year.
Smith beating Vanley, and another foul inside. This one is on Anthony Webster. On Webster, his first. And what, number 5 on the team? Bradley in foul difficulty already. 5 team fouls, and we still have over 12 minutes to play in the first half.
And it has really been a problem for the Braves this year, especially on the road. It has not happened as much for them in the new Peoria Civic Center.
Harris guilty of a traveling violation. That's the second turnover for Tulsa. Bradley has committed 1 miscue. So the Braves will get it back. They lead by 2 and a chance to move on top by 4. This is Willie Scott, picked up by Mike Smith. Hurricane back into their zone defense. Bradley Braves working the basketball. Willie Scott at the point, glancing inside, but nothing there. This is Barney Mines, number 40. Good outside capability on both sides tonight. That's why zones could be a little bit dangerous to play against these two. Mines from deep. Vanley the rebound. Harris on the outlet. Lead to Mike Smith for 2.
2 points at the offensive end of the floor, all because the big guy in the middle clears the defensive board and makes a great outlet pass. Without the rebound and the outlet pass, you don't get the break, you don't get the assist, you don't get the basket.
Lee Scott the alley-oop to Webster inside. Make that Winters inside.
What a great head fake by Willie Scott, and he's going to get a rest. Replaced by number 10, Eddie Matthews.
So Boise Winters with the field goal. That is the story. 11:43 to go in a good first half of basketball. This is the Missouri Valley Basketball Network.
You know, there's nothing like getting together for a nice, friendly game of cards.
The coaches, the players, everybody, good luck, my friend. We're grateful to you.
Mike Smith on the drive to tie the game. Bradley Braves on offense. They won the first match, 65 to 59. They won 82-79 in double overtime at Bradley, and the only meeting between these two teams last year. Eddie Matthews, number 10, is running the point now.
They've changed that zone just a little bit. They're trapping the ball a little bit more, and they've opened up the zone. They've widened it out to cover the inside, and without Scott in there, Bradley may lose some penetration.
Bradley is 2-3 in their last 5 games. Dick Versace.
Coach Versace has just put his Bradley Braves against that zone into a 1-4 offense. They'll start 1-4, overload one side of the floor. That's why Mines went through right there.
Webster in traffic, loses the basketball. It's picked up down low by Davison, and he's fouled. Ron Zutcher pointed the accusing finger at Bruce Vanley. On Vanley, personal foul number 1, the third on the team.
Well, we'll see it here. Webster tries to take it to the basket, loses it inside. It's picked up by Roosevelt Davison. He tries to drive it up in strong and draws the foul.
That's Jeff Riley who reports on. Riley has played well of late, coming off the bench for the Golden Hurricanes.
That young man's brother, number 33, just into the game for Tulsa. 6'10" high school senior has just recently committed to Tulsa University to pursue his education and his basketball career.
Davison had a career high 16 points in the win over SIU earlier this year. Well, Davison puts the Bradley Braves on top. Now we've got some trapping in the backcourt. Smith gets it away nicely. Riley to Vanley. Now Steve Harris will set it up. Vanley down low with the turn. Fine job against the press.
And Tulsa comes right back with a full court zone press against Matthews. They probably would not do that against Scott.
Bradley able to break the press. Barney Mines reloads the offense to Eddie Matthews.
That does not mean that Matthews can't handle it. He'll handle it in a different way.
Davison inside, loses the basketball to Vanley. Golden Hurricane come back the other way and a chance to take the lead. Herbert Johnson had it knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Braves, and so Tulsa will regain possession. A couple of substitutions. Booker Johnson and Willie Scott into the game, replacing Davison and Matthews in the Bradley lineup.
What I mean by that, Wayne, is with Scott, because of his quickness and his ability to move quickly on the dribble, he may attempt to handle the pressure with the dribble a little bit more than Matthews would, while Matthews will handle it with the pass probably a little bit more than Willie Scott would. The pass at times is a wiser way to handle it, but Scott's exceptional with a basketball.
Ty Nielsen in the game now for Tulsa, replacing Mike Smith. Harris in the corner, bottled up by Mines.
And Bradley plays a zone against out-of-bounds plays underneath their opponent's basket and stays for that full series in a zone.
Tulsa Golden Hurricane, they've won 6 of their last 7. Harris from deep, yes.
He's a great shooter.
He's got 8. We saw him can 37 against Creighton a couple of weeks ago on the game of the week. Willie Scott back into the game for Bradley. It's Booker Johnson. Ball knocked out of bounds by Harris. Ricky Ross back into the game, number 24 for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. He replaces Harris. Bradley Braves on offense. Lost by 2 points at New Mexico the other night. Willie Scott with the penetration. Is it offensive? Yes, it is. Vanley had position. Vanley, the man, knocked to the floor. Second personal on number 3, Willie Scott, and that is 6 on the team.
Scott makes the penetration here. Watch number 33 off to his right. You see him standing there? He should be going to the hole when that penetration is made. Scott was able to draw the defense. Had 33 Webster gone to the basket, Scott could have pulled up, made a little bounce pass, and it had a basket. That's not all Scott's fault.
Barney Mines tipped it out of bounds away from Ricky Ross, so the Hurricane remain on the attack. They don't like Dick down here a whole lot. I don't think he'd win any mayoral elections in this town.
I don't think he wants to run for mayor.
No, not here. Vanley down low. Bruce Vanley now has 6 points. They respect Dick Versace, though. I get the feeling here.
Well, as long as that respect is maintained throughout the league, that you can dislike somebody, but you do need to remember the respect factor.
Winters off the mark, and the rebound knocked out of play by Tulsa. I believe Vanley, the man who tipped it out. So it'll be Bradley ball. Barney Mines will trigger. Bradley trailing by 4 now. 8.5 minutes to go, first half of play.
There's the good look at the 1-4 right there that Bradley's playing. Now they'll adjust, they'll swing. There comes the overload man.
Mines off the mark. Bradley's cooled off a bit. Johnson on the follow. Again, he displays good touch. He has 6 points, make it 4.
These two teams are going to be very, very good teams by the time
Herbert Johnson had the ball knocked away, and we've got a foul down low on Bradley. I believe Booker Johnson. Johnson trying to knock the ball away. Dick Versace not happy with the call. Look at Willie Scott, guilty of his third personal foul. I thought Booker Johnson got a hand on it. Maybe we'll see it again. Number 3 on Willie Scott. 17 fouls now.
The last time we did a ball game with the Bradley Braves, if you remember, Willie Scott picked up his third foul in the first half at Southern Illinois in Carbondale, and it was a real factor in the outcome of the ball game, and that will be very much a factor in the outcome of this one. He has to sit out the remaining 8 minutes of the first half. We'll see if it changes the tactical approach of the Bradley Braves.
This is Herbert Johnson out of Midland, Texas. Had a great career at Midland High School. Herbert Johnson gets 1 out of 2 at the line. The lead is 3 for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, and we have 8 minutes and 7 seconds left to be played in the first half. Back after these local messages. Reunion, convention, or reception in Tulsa? If so, the Camelot Hotel is the place. Camelot, conveniently located at I-44 in South Peoria, offering 13,000 square feet of meeting space with 350 guest rooms and complimentary parking for up to 700 cars. Camelot, the official headquarters of the Missouri Valley Conference television team when in Tulsa. Nolan Richardson has a seat next to Bruce Vanley on the bench.
The shooting percentage is incredible. Bradley shooting 61% from the field, while Tulsa is shooting a blistering 76%.
Full court pressure by Tulsa. Bradley breaks it with ease. Mines nearly threw it away. Webster able to retrieve. They got it across the midcourt stripe, and we've got an injured player. That's Jeff Riley. Riley went down in the collision in the lane. No foul was called. And Riley getting up very slowly.
It had to be something, Wayne. Coach Richardson, let's look here.
Looks like he got an elbow in the head, perhaps, and went straight back on his back.
I believe the man charged. I really do. I think the Bradley player charged. Coach Richardson in deep conversation with official Ron Zetcher. But let me tell you, Ron Zetcher will handle that situation well. He's a good basketball official, maintains excellent temperament on the floor at all times. Coach Richardson had to take that player out so as not to be charged with a timeout. Vanley comes back for him.
Ron Zetcher, Ralph Pickett, and Otto Deck are the officials here tonight from the Missouri Valley Conference. Bradley on offense. Braves are trailing by 3. Largest lead has been 4 in the game.
Good pass by Matthews.
That's Marty Mines. Harris the rebound. Ricky Ross on the wing. Matthews got back quickly defensively for Bradley. From the outside, Harris. Webster the rebound. Bradley heading into their transition game. But again, both teams getting back quickly on defense here tonight, Bob.
It's a good basketball game. It really is.
Webster had it stripped away by Ty Nielsen. Ricky Ross again. This time the feed to Harris for 2. He has 10 points already. 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go first half. 5 points, the largest lead.
They've changed that zone a little bit again to a 1-2-2, trying to better cover the wings. And they're taking away the swing pass back to the point.
Nice feed to Davison. Davison couldn't make it go. Here come the Golden Hurricane off the rebound by Vanley. This is Nielsen at the point. Ricky Ross had a notion from deep.
He'll shoot it from there.
Inside, Herbert Johnson is fouled. Well, they like the way things are going now here in Tulsa. The Golden Hurricane leading by 5. Second personal foul on Anthony Webster. Team is over the limit. A 2-shot foul anyway for Herbert Johnson. Johnson a chance to add to that 5-point lead. He's 1 of 2 at the line. Oh, he can make it a 7-point bulge if he connects on this one.
We'll see if Tulsa comes at the Braves with any kind of defensive pressure. if they make the free throw.
Tulsa's played extremely well at home. They are 7-1 at home. They only lost earlier this season to a red-hot Oklahoma State Cowboy team.
There's the pressure we were talking about.
Bradley able to break it across again with ease. Their problem has been closer to the bucket. 6:24 to go, and Bradley setting up on offense very deliberately here. I'd like Tulsa to come out of that zone.
Tulsa will not come out of that zone, I don't believe, Wayne. Not with that 7-point lead, they won't.
Marty Mines, penetration. Webster from the outside. The rebound to Herbert Johnson, and here come the Hurricane with a 7-point lead, and the Dots really love it here. Ross, the feed to Harris, and a foul coming up.
Good penetration, good offensive pressure by Tulsa here. Ricky Ross with a basketball. Goes up and dishes it off.
Third personal foul on Barney Mines. Team is over the limit. We've got a break. 5:58 left to be played. First half, Tulsa gripping control. This is the Missouri Valley Basketball Network.
Tulsa 7. Bradley's had 4 turnovers to Tulsa's 2.
Both teams are well coached. There's no question about that.
Keep in mind that these two teams, Wayne, were just devastated last year by graduation and the loss of some great players. And it's taken a while for Coach Versace and Coach Richardson to bring them around, and they're not there yet. But look out by postseason tournament time.
Both are playing a lot better, as I mentioned. Oh, Ricky Ross makes it a 9-point Tulsa lead.
That's what you need to do, is penetrate against pressure.
Eddie Matthews to Boise Winners with a touch of flair from Mr. Winners.
You do not attack the pressure, you attack the basket. If you stand there and look at the pressure and worry about it all the time, you'll never get the ball to the hole. You've got to attack the basket.
Ty Nielsen on the drive. Davison picked him up and fouled him. Rosie Davison will be hit with his first personal foul. So again, the Hurricane will be at the line, and Dick Versace has seen the foul story too often in the last few games on the road for the Bradley Braves.
A word about that gentleman sitting next to Coach Versace, Tony Baroni. A very fine basketball man, an excellent recruiter. He's done a great job for Bradley University. They can be proud of the job he's done.
Hey, he's one of the great individuals in sports. He's just a neat guy. He really is.
He's a good one.
Aside from his coaching ability, which is great.
We were
9 points the edge now for the Hurricane as Nielsen sinks a pair. Is it traveling? Yes. Indecision by Rosie Davison.
Rosie Davison should not have the basketball back there, and that's why Coach Versace is up. I'm sure he doesn't want him to have it against that pressure.
Tulsa chance to move on top by 11 here. Manley in heavy traffic. The ball knocked away by Davison. Matthews on the save attempt and stepped on the end line.
Fouls are a real factor once again for Bradley. They have 10 while Tulsa has 3.
Golden Hurricane on offense. Ricky Ross now at the point.
Tulsa playing well, Wayne.
Coming up on the 5-minute mark, first half. Ross from deep 3-point range. Good position on the rebound by Johnson. Bradley sets up the offense quickly, but Tulsa gets back very quickly defensively. Johnson. Booker Johnson has 6 points.
Playing well off the bench tonight, Johnson is. There's the key.
Manley kicked the basketball and has called for a dribbling violation prior to putting it on the floor. That's Tony Baroni up on the Bradley bench, standing up, applauding the call. Steve Ballard back into the game, number 40 for the Golden Hurricane.
Also checking in, number 32,
Vince Williams also checking into the lineup now for Tulsa, number 32. Vince Williams, Kansas City, Missouri.
Some fine young players on both these teams, and as I mentioned, with the loss of last year's seniors for both of them, they're going to be good clubs next year, if not before the year's over.
Matthews and Scott look to take it across, and Willie Scott finally gets it done. Davison the feed to Winters. Boise utilizing the glass has 12 points.
I think they got to get him more shots, Wayne. I think Winters has got to get a few more shots in there.
Bradley back within 5. Williams on the drive is fouled. Booker Johnson hacked him on the play. That's the first on Johnson. Vince Williams heads to the line as we get another look.
Good penetration on the baseline where you never want an offensive player with the ball to go. And he draws the foul, gets to go to the line, get a couple of charity tosses. Vince Williams, number 32.
Williams 2 of 2 from the field and 2 of 2 from the free throw line in the first meeting up at Peoria between these two teams. Vince Williams, a good defensive player, very quick on the drive as he displayed on this most recent drive. Had 5 rebounds in that first Bradley game. And he buries the pair from the line. 7 points the lead. Tulsa on top. 4:06 left to be played first half. Scott on the drive. The feed to Winters off the glass. Winters just lost the handle on it. Here comes Tulsa. Mike Smith. Williams in the corner. Back to Smith. Now they rotate to the top. Steve Harris on the drive.
That's not a real good shot by Harris.
The foul will be on Ballard on the rebound. And the Polka Dots are a little bit concerned on that. That's the second on Ballard, the 4th on the team.
Polka Dots all over this place tonight.
Including that man, Nolan Richardson, has sparked the polka dottery renaissance here, maybe.
Why do you have stripes on?
Who?
You have stripes on tonight, Wayne.
I didn't get the memo to wear the polka dots. I missed the blue jacket memo also. Here's Smith on the drive. Ballard gets it back. They got a foul in the melee inside. It has been physical inside.
We see the shot and all the contact underneath as people really battling for the basketball. It's a competitive basketball game, and you can feel it heating up. You really can.
Eddie Matthews guilty of his first personal foul.
Coach Richardson's been pretty calm here tonight, but I guess that's easy when you're up anywhere from 5 to 10 points.
At the line is Steve Ballard. He's the senior out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. Played with a bruised knee earlier this winter. With that knee heavily taped. He makes good on a pair at the line. So Tulsa shot well from the free throw line tonight. That's been a factor.
We have some serious clock problems here.
Serious clock and scoreboard problems. Yeah, if we've got that much time left, Bob, you and I ought to put in for overtime.
Well, I can make it. I don't know whether you can or not.
Nolan Richardson heads toward the scorer's table. And they have held up the action. They want to straighten out the problem with the clock. It is 40 to 31 now. Ron Zetcher talking with Nolan Richardson.
Both coaches get their teams over to the sideline. There's no timeout taken. We can get a look at what's happening here. I wish I could give a little bit better description of that. I don't know what the problem was. I think...
well, they've straightened it out. That man on the keyboard straightened it out. That's the correct story as far as we know.
He just got excited, that's all. Free throws, Tulsa, 11 of 12. Bradley, 2 for 2. And as a result, the Braves trail by 9.
Here it is, Coach. The full court pressure now. Bradley on offense.
That's the guy you want to have the basketball against the pressure.
Willie Scott. Two very quick teams in Valley play. Good quickness throughout the lineup. Especially this man, number 3, Willie Scott. Boise Winters, the outside threat. He was hot early in the game. Scored the first 6 points for Bradley.
It's good movement offensively. Very good movement offensively against the man-to-man defense by Bradley.
Bradley's only road win this season was at Creighton on a Barney Mines tip-in in the final seconds. That Hurricane defense, tough to get inside on.
They came out of that zone. They're playing very well defensively. Tulsa's having a good night all the way around.
Rosie Davison, number 21. Matthews with the penetration on the scoop, and we've got a foul. It's offensive on Eddie Matthews, much to the dismay of Dick Versace. That is the second on Matthews.
Well, I think Coach Versace knew it, though. He knew it, and I think we can see the foul committed by Matthews here. He makes good penetration in trying to get to the basket. Defensive player gets in position and draws the foul.
As you mentioned, Nolan Richardson's been cool tonight. Mike Smith at the free throw line, number 22. He has 4 points on 2 from the field. His first trip to the foul line. His team leading by 9. Misses the 1-on-1 opportunity. Johnson has the rebound. His outlet pass to Winter stolen by Smith. So Tulsa off the steal. Sets up offensively.
That's a charge. I guess I shouldn't do. I thought I was coaching. I thought I was coaching again, Wayne.
You slip back into it rather easily, don't you?
Very good job by Eddie Matthews. I'll tell you, I guess my nature will never allow me to get too far away from him, but Matthews did a good job.
Smith guilty of his second personal foul. And how many is that on the team? 5.
That was on Mike Smith.
Again, that full court pressure by Tulsa. Here's the baseball feed to Booker Johnson. Johnson will reload the offense.
Had he handled that long pass, he'd have had an easy layup.
Bradley Braves. Rosie Davison in the paint. Willie Scott from three-point range.
Willie Scott.
Apparently he had a foot on the line. They do not call it a three-pointer, but a two-pointer.
If your foot's on that line when you go up in the air, it's a two-pointer. You go up behind it, come down inside of it, it's okay. It's a three-pointer.
Mike Smith tied up momentarily. Winners or make that Johnson almost took it away.
Good defensive job by Johnson. You know, you have to wonder if Vanley had been healthy all year long, along with Mike Smith for Tulsa, number 22 and number 53. I believe their record would be a little bit better than it is right now.
Well, Vanley has missed 4 games this year, and in those 4 games, the Golden Hurricane is 1-3. Matthews on the steal, and the foul committed by Steve Ballard as he tried to recapture the basketball. That's the 3rd on the Ballard, and the 6th on the team.
Matthews seems to have settled down just a little bit. He's playing pretty well the last 3-4 minutes. That was a great defensive job on his part. Excellent hustle. He comes from a basketball family. His father, Don, used to be the basketball coach at Woodruff High School, and I saw a lot of great battles between that man and the great Dottie Hawkins at Pekin High School and Peoria Central High School. And I'll bet he's watching tonight.
Right now, Matthews in a little bit of trouble. Gets it away to Scott. Ahead to Winters. Bradley is trailing here by 7. Braves continue to work the basketball well. Scott from the outside again.
Great job on the board.
Johnson in the lane is fouled as he tried to pick it up. Well, wait a minute. Johnson can't believe it. He commits the foul. Offensive.
See if we can find it in here.
This is the 2nd foul on Johnson.
I don't know that he.
I don't know about that, Bob.
He didn't clear his way out in there.
That looked like a phantom foul to me.
You have to battle through those things, though. You just must keep playing and not let that affect you mentally. That's difficult to do, but you have to do that.
Minute 15 to go, first half. Tulsa works the basketball. Vanley, number 53, way outside. Reloads to Ricky Ross. Ross one-on-one now with Booker Johnson. Johnson, a good defensive player. Steve Harris.
Bradley'd like to have that basketball back by the end of the half. Tulsa may be running that clock down for one good shot.
45 seconds remaining to be played, first half.
I believe they are.
Tulsa 7-point lead and with the ball.
That delay game being used by Tulsa right now was used by Ralph Miller in this league back in Wichita many years ago, back in the late 50s. Now they move to their offensive set.
30 seconds remaining. Ricky Ross. 25 seconds, and Steve Harris, number 20, with the ball. 20 seconds remaining now. 40-33, the Golden Hurricane on top. Ross glancing at the clock. 10 seconds left to go. Vince Williams hesitates. 5 seconds remaining. Williams is freed up. Matthews the rebound. 1 second left, fires the length of the court, and it's over the backboard. Time expires in this first half of play. Dick Versace and his Bradley Braves are trailing at halftime by 7 as both teams played well offensively in this first half of play. We'll be back after these local messages. We're back in Tulsa at halftime, 7-point lead. Now, Bradley has scored 33 points, Coach Bob Ortigal. But really, they played pretty well offensively. I think what really sticks out in my mind is the defensive performance that we have seen from Tulsa in this game. They have slowed down Bradley. Bradley's been very patient. At times, they've had to work that basketball to get their good shots.
Tulsa made some key adjustments in that zone defense that they were playing to start the basketball game. First of all, it started out to be a 2-3, but it was packed back in. And if you'll recall, Boise Winters on the left wing hit 3 shots from the outside against that zone. They then swapped defensive people on that zone. They took the man off the right wing, put him on the left wing a little bit bigger, and they extended the zone a little bit. They opened it up. So they forced the Bradley offense back out on the floor, made him a little bit more hesitant. At that point, Willie Scott was able to penetrate a little bit. Then they changed the zone to a 1-2-2. Then they played a little bit of man-to-man. So Tulsa's mixing it up pretty good.
Well, both teams shot well to start the ball game, Bob, and they came out very hot. I believe Tulsa for a while shooting around 76%. Bradley shooting well at 75%. We get a look at some of the action as Bradley works that basketball, and Tulsa again extending the zone a little bit there.
Look at this pass by Scott. You saw a little head fake. He makes the alley-oop pass to Boise Winters. You talk about teamwork and timing. That was just superlative as far as execution is concerned. A great play against the zone. Winters was able to get in behind it.
Okay, again, what are the coaches talking about at halftime? What are the adjustments that'll be made in the second half?
I believe that in a game of this nature where it's so competitive and the rivalry is so great, you must maintain your poise. I think that Coach Richardson is probably trying to tell his people that we want to keep some pressure on because of Willie Scott having 3 fouls. Willie Scott, Barney Mines both have 3 fouls. Tulsa will try to capitalize on that. I do not think that those two can be out of the ballgame very long for Bradley, even though Eddie Matthews does an excellent job. As far as Bradley's concerned, they're going to have to stop fouling as much as they can, because that's why they're behind right now by 7 points. I'm sure that Coach Versace will emphasize that. Maybe we'll see a little bit of zone, but if they play a zone, they better get to Steve Harris.
I agree with you. It looks like both teams are playing well at this point of the season, and I think they're going to be tuned for the playoffs.
As I mentioned in the first half, they were devastated by graduation last year. The number of people missing from these two teams this year currently playing in the NBA and drafted into the NBA is astounding. So it's taken some time, but these two coaches will get it done with both teams, and by the time that postseason tournament rolls around, they'll be tough.
Okay, we'll be back with more at halftime. This is the Missouri Valley Basketball Network.
You know, even though we're not playing football anymore, Dee Dee and I still like to come out and watch practice.
While they're working out, we're enjoying our light beer from Miller.
Public Relations for the Missouri Valley Conference, Jeff Hurd. Jeff took over that position on October 1, 1978, after 2.5 years at Tulsa as Sports Information Director. So you're going on 8 years in this league, Jeff.
It's been a lot of fun, too, Bob. It's a good league to work with, a lot of good people in it. And, as you know, being around the league for a long time, good basketball. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, I think your contribution's been tremendous, and you keep up the good work. I want to ask you a question. This league over the years has had a love affair with New York City, with the Big Apple. They've always done well in the National Invitational Tournament. In the last 2 years, Tulsa and Bradley have won that tournament. What is it that you people do to represent this conference and its schools so very well in New York? I know it's a concentrated effort.
Well, one of the things we do is hope our teams win during the season. But really, we make a visit every year to New York at least once and maybe twice. This year we were out there in late September. We have a very good working relationship with the NIT and with Sports Illustrated and most of the New York media. We make a very concerted effort to make our name known because the Missouri Valley, not like the Big Ten or the ACC, we don't have the major media markets. It's very difficult to get out what we want to get out about our league, so we bring it to them. We go out there, take a few coaches with us, and kind of just sit down with people, maybe have dinner, lunch, or whatever, and try to get our message across to them that, yeah, we do play good basketball. We have teams that can compete on a national basis. We have good players, and basically that's it. And it's really paid off for us over the years. Naturally, your teams have to win to make it pay off in the long run, but if you get out there and make them aware of what you're doing and really be honest with them, be truthful and say, you can't present something that you don't have. You can't say, hey, we have a great league, we have great teams, and then fall flat on your face. Fortunately, in the past 4 or 5 years, our teams have done very well. Matter of fact, the Valley, I think, maybe the only league in the country that in the last 4 years have had 3 teams reach the national finals in either the NIT or the NCAA tournament. Indiana State, the NCAA runner-up 4 years ago, and of course Bradley and Tulsa back-to-back NIT winners the last 2 years. So we've been very happy with the progress the league has made.
Well, I can say this, that whatever you're doing out in New York, it certainly has been successful. In fact, the Sports Illustrated evidently feels very strongly about the league. There have been some honors there this year.
It really has. We've had 3 Sports Illustrated Players of the Week already this year. Xavier McDaniel this week, Antoine Carr earlier from Wichita State, and Bruce Vanley from Tulsa earlier in the year when Tulsa beat North Carolina, of course, the #1 ranked team in the country right now.
Well, let's hope that the Missouri Valley Conference continues that fine representation in the National Invitational Tournament, in addition to the NCAA Tournament. Thanks for coming by, Jeff.
Thank you, Bob. I enjoyed it.
And here at halftime, Tulsa with a 7-point lead over the Bradley Braves, 40-33.
Well, each week the Missouri Valley Conference takes time out to honor one of the fine players in the conference, and obviously this is an honor the players look forward to, and the coaches in general also. This week's Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Week hails from Wichita State University. He's Xavier McDaniel, the nation's leading rebounder. Led the Shockers to 3 wins as he averaged 21.7 points, 17 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots. His week included 20 points, 20 rebounds against Indiana State, 25 points, 12 rebounds against New Mexico State, and 20 points, 19 rebounds against West Texas State in the Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week. So congratulations to Wichita State's Xavier McDaniel. And Bob, I mentioned that we saw Xavier McDaniel at Wichita last week. You mentioned after the game that we always talk about the All-American potential of Antoine Carr, but I'm not so sure that Xavier McDaniel may be another All-American at Wichita State.
I really believe he is, and he's only a sophomore. He has 2 years to play. He has great quickness, and he explodes to the basketball, and I believe he's a great rebounder because of that second and third effort that he's able to make. He has that kind of quickness. He's really a tremendous player and will entertain a lot of Valley basketball fans in the next couple of years.
Last week in Wichita, we were reading one of the local papers about the 2-team race in the Missouri Valley. I think things have changed a little bit with a couple of losses now by Illinois State. Things are tightening up around the Valley.
Well, they really are, and we get a look at the standings here. Wichita State alone in first place right now with an impressive 9-1 record. Illinois State has suffered a couple of setbacks at 9-2 and playing a very difficult game tonight in Des Moines, Iowa against the Drake Bulldogs. New Mexico State, a team right now playing maybe as well as anybody in the league, a team that is really coming on strong after an upset over Illinois State last week. Their record 8-4. Tulsa rounding into form, I believe, with a 6-5 record after getting Bruce Vanley and Mike Smith back in the lineup. Drake, 5-5, just played one whale of a basketball game here the other night against the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. As we move on to the lower half of the conference at this point, at least lower half in terms of the present standings, but certainly it's not over. Bradley at 5-6, fighting for their life and trying to come up with an advantage for the postseason tournament to be played in the league. Creighton at 4-8, loses today in an overtime at Southern Illinois. West Texas State at 3-7, Indiana State at 3-8, and Southern Illinois with that big win today over the Creighton Blue Jays at 3-9.
Okay, we'll be back with halftime statistics after these messages from your local stations. And less, and by State Farm. Find your State Farm agent past in the yellow pages. We're at halftime here in Tulsa. Got a good one going between the Bradley Braves and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Tulsa outscores Bradley 19-10 over the last 10 minutes of that first half, Wayne, picking up that 7-point lead. We look at the stats.
Bob, I mentioned Bradley played well in that first half offensively, although they only scored 33 points. They shot pretty well. Their shot selection was good, Coach.
They did a good job, 55%. Tulsa counters that with 14 of 24 for 58%, as our viewers can see. The free throw line's the difference. Bradley shoots 2 free throws, makes them both. Tulsa goes to the line 13 times and makes 11 of the 13. Right now, that's the difference in the ball game. Rebounding pretty even, 11 for Bradley, 13 for Tulsa. 14 fouls against the Braves, 6 against the Golden Hurricane. Turnovers, 9 against Bradley, 5 for Tulsa. That 9 turnovers certainly has contributed to that deficit that Bradley has right now also.
High point men of the game, Boise winners with 12 points, 6 of 9 from the field. He has 12 points, no rebounds. Steve Harris with 10 points, 5 of 8 shooting from the field, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. There are the officials, led by Ron Zetcher in the middle. Talking things over with Dick Versace, the Bradley coach. We mentioned both teams are well coached, and as Bob has mentioned often here tonight, both teams devastated by graduation in June, and thus it has been a rebuilding period, even though Nolan Richardson prefers to call it a reloading period. But it's taken some time for both teams to round into form.
Well, and that coupled with the fact that you lose a couple of people that are starters has certainly hurt the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. And I want to say something. There's a player that's not here with the Bradley Braves that they were counting on too, a young man by the name of Pierre Cooper, who's back in Peoria. I think he's still going to school, and I hope he'll continue to go to school, because that's why he went to Peoria from Chicago in the first place, and he's a great player. But because of a blood problem, he was unable to play. So both these teams have been hurt by some physical problems as well as graduation. However, I can see them developing and growing right now, and I believe that by the postseason tournament, as I mentioned, they'll be capable of beating anybody in this league.
It'll be Bradley ball to start the second half of play. We saw Tulsa go almost exclusively with a zone defense in the first half. Let's see what they come out with now, Coach.
A wide zone. Bradley's made a change and put Boise Winters on the high post. Now they got Webster back up there. They'll rotate those people in and out of there. But they are keeping the zone wide, trying to spread out the offense and move the offense out on the floor, which is what you would like to do anytime you're playing defense. You push the offense away from the hole, you're doing the job.
Bradley Braves on offense. Barney Mines lost it, knocked out of bounds, though, by Ricky Ross. Nick Versace breathes a sigh of relief. Barney Mines, senior guard, Joliet, Illinois. Came into his own second half of last year.
They've flattened out a 1-2-2 zone, Tulsa has. It's almost like a 3-2.
Bradley Braves taking their time. They've been a very patient offense tonight. They've gotten good shots as a result.
I believe that Coach Versace has instructed them with the first possession to get a good shot, and they did. That was
Webster.
Excellent execution.
Anthony Webster with only his first field goal. He's got 2 points.
We talked about him at the start of the ball game and the top of the show, and he just has to play well if Bradley's going to be as good as they can be.
He really does. He is one of the keys up front for the Bradley Braves, both off the boards and offensively. This is Steve Harris, a key for Tulsa.
They cleared the right side of the floor for Harris and let him go one-on-one. You're going to see more of that because the starting guards for Bradley, Scott and Mines, both have 3 fouls.
7-point lead for the Hurricane. Braves on offense. It's Rosie Davison, junior college transfer. Webster again. Got the shooter's touch on it.
He's starting the second half the way Boise Winters started the ball game.
Boise hit the first 3 field goals for Bradley. Anthony Webster's hit the first 2 field goals here in the second half. Nice feed inside, and Ballard was there to poke it through.
That's the clear out again, clearing out the backside, eliminating the defense, overloading one side of the floor, and then lobbing over the top.
We're 2 minutes deep into the second half. Bradley trailing by 7. Bradley's only won 2 games in a row. That's been their longest winning streak. They've done that twice this year. So it has been, like I said, a year of inconsistency, a year where they've desperately tried to get things together. Barney Mines has some room. Oh, Bradley coming out and shooting very well in the opening minutes of play here in the second half. Mines with 7 points, and again, they sliced the disadvantage to 5.
Both teams playing intelligently. They're playing with patience.
That's the word I've been looking for. Intelligence today.
Did you tell me that? I've given it to you.
They've been both play very intelligent. Basketball. Smith with a bit of a force, but a shot like that you don't complain about when it goes through the hoop. Nolan Richardson instructing his defense. Willie Scott on offense for the Bradley Braves. We haven't seen a lot of running here tonight, Coach, except off maybe steals once in a while.
The last 8 minutes of the first half got a little hectic, I thought. It's not that was not intelligent basketball. But this here in the second half, both teams doing an excellent job.
Barney Mines looking for room, finds it, but banks it too high. Ricky Ross comes back the other way. Again, Bradley slipping back into that defense quickly. Vanley down low.
He's awfully good in there. He really is. That's a good interior pass that was made to Vanley, and he just turns around and sticks it, and that's what a good pivot man will do.
So the lead is 9 for Tulsa right now. Boise Winters for the Bradley Braves. Here's Webster. Mike Smith is there for the rebound. The Hurricane want to run. Ricky Ross off the lead. Three-point try. Good position on the rebound inside, and we've got a foul coming up. Boise Winters had it. Fouls on Ballard. That's his fourth. We'll get another look at it.
Here's the shot outside. We get the long defensive rebound. 34 is up high to get the basketball. Boise Winters. Contact is made by number 40, Ballard.
Herbert Johnson, number 41, will come into the Hurricane lineup when we resume. 16:03 left to go in the ball game. From the Assembly Center in Tulsa, that's the story. This is the Missouri Valley Basketball Network.
State, if they want to stay in the thick of that conference championship race, and they will have a shot at it.
These are the Bradley Braves on offense. Boise Winters trying to get something going, and he does. He has 14 points.
Boise Winters.
7 points the lead for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane as they set up on offense. Herbert Johnson to the corner would like to hit Ricky Ross. Steve Harris is the open man. Harris now 14 points for Tulsa. Both teams continue to shoot well, Bob.
Oh, it's amazing. Tulsa's shooting over 80% again for this half.
Winters again, the open man. Inside, Mines on the rebound, and he's fouled. Barney Mines went from the backcourt position inside against the trees. Harris hit with a second personal foul. That's the second on the team. And it will send Mr. Mines to the line. Senior from Joliet, Illinois. 26 points, hitting 8 of 15 from the field. 10 of 10 from the free throw line against Tulsa in Peoria earlier this year. 15-18 left to go in the game. It's down to an 8-point ball game.
Mines and Scott continue to play with 3 fouls.
They have to, Bob.
And it'll be a determining factor in the outcome.
The lead is 7 for Tulsa. Smith receiving pressure in the backcourt. Harris, the alley-oop to Herbert Johnson, and he couldn't make it go.
That could be a big play right there.
Here come the Braves.
If they can capitalize on that missed layup and cut the lead to 5, it'll help from a confidence standpoint. That's the guy that can do it.
In traffic, yes. Winters has 16. Down to a 5-point Tulsa lead. Here's Ricky Ross. This is Smith. Trying to feed Van Lee. Webster had it, and he lost it out of play. Oh, the Braves can taste another fast break. Willie Scott was on the wing feeling it.
That's been a concern for Bradley this year. Webster's hands, he had the basketball. He should have been able to hang on to that one.
Oh, the Hurricane off that break, get it back.
Bradley in his zone now.
Smith the penetration. In the corner, Ross. Herbert Johnson, the man who knocked it out of play, and it will be Bradley ball.
It's going to get interesting if Bradley cuts his 5-point lead to 3 right now. They'll have to be patient. Looks like a defensive change for Tulsa. We'll wait a little bit here. Don't want to be premature in that. It is. It's a man-to-man defense by Tulsa. They've changed up.
This is Boise Winters. Barney Mines, number 40. Man-to-man defense, as Bob mentioned, for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. They've played a zone almost throughout the entire ball game. Willie Scott and Mike Smith, good matchup.
Bradley has to get a good shot now. That is a good back cut by Winters right there.
Booker Johnson from deep. Johnson is on the money.
Booker Johnson.
3 points the lead for Tulsa. Things are tightening up. Vanley down low, and Webster this time takes it away. Well, Bradley could close to within 1 right here.
Doing a good defensive job. Good help side defense the last 2 times down the floor.
Boise Winters on the drive. The foul is on Smith, who did not have position, according to Ron Zetcher. That's the second on Smith.
They're gaining some confidence right now. There's a good look at Coach Richardson.
Second personal 13 foul.
Here's Winters on the penetration, and there was no question about the foul committed by Mike Smith, number 22. He did not have the position directly in front of the basketball. He was off on the side, got called for the block.
Don't go away. We've got a ball game with 13:24 left. We'll be back after these local messages.
Back tonight, Wayne. You know, they've suffered 2 conference losses in a row and have lost, I'm sure, that national ranking that they've been able to maintain in recent weeks. And this conference race is going to get real interesting down the stretch with New Mexico State playing so well. You can love the Missouri Valley Conference or you can hate it. But let me tell you one thing, don't ignore it.
Inside Webster, and the jump ball indication is made. I believe it belonged to Tulsa. It'll be Tulsa basketball. Fine work defensively down low by the Hurricanes.
The alternating process on the jump ball rule gives the ball to Tulsa. Bradley shooting 60%, Tulsa 44. Bradley gets it right back, Wayne.
Johnson on the intercept, and this is Willie Scott. Scott again will set it up. Bradley with a field goal will slice the disadvantage down to 1.
Tulsa back to the zone again. A flattened out 1-2-2, almost like a 3-2 zone.
3-point shot here. We're tied.
When the ball goes to the baseline, Tulsa likes to play the passing lane, so there's a good look at it right there. You saw Ricky Ross move into the passing lane. He'll do it again. That slows down the rotation of the ball by the offense.
These are the Bradley Braves. They are trailing at the moment by 3. They trail throughout the ball game. By as many as 10 at some junctures. Webster inside. Score the field goal. A chorus of whistles, but they were going to call goaltending if it didn't go through.
Bradley scored the last 8 points. Tulsa has not scored since 15:38 of this half.
12:21 to go. Steve Harris, number 20 in the corner, gets by Scott for 2.
There they get one. And that's the guy to go to.
That man has 16.
Here's the advantage of the score. They hurt Bradley with this pressure in the first half, but you can't apply that 3-quarter or full-court pressure unless you score, and there's a good look at it.
Harris on the steal, the feed to Ross, broken up by Mines nicely, and it cost the Hurricane a fast break bucket. The Dots are out tonight in Tulsa. That's the reason why. Nolan Richardson, what a job he's done here.
You won't be able to buy a polka dot shirt in Tulsa tomorrow, let me tell you. Well, not tomorrow, Monday.
We got a whistle down low, and apparently an offensive foul coming up on Herbert Johnson.
A lot of contact inside between Boise Winters and Herbert Johnson.
That is the first on Herbert, the 4th on the team. Bradley yet to have a foul called on them in the second half, and they were buried by fouls in the first half, as you mentioned.
Very interesting timeout right here. Bradley with a basketball, down by 3, takes a timeout with 11:45 left in the first half.
52-49 the score in favor of Tulsa. This is the Missouri Valley Basketball Network.
Did not score, but they were able to get in it because of the timeout situation. And that's been a determining factor for Tulsa, but without the score, you cannot pressure. Now, Bradley must continue to pursue the basket against the pressure.
11 minutes, 30 seconds left to be played. Marty Mines. I don't know if he meant to bank it, but it was a good shot anyway.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You could tell the way he shot the basketball. He was under control, and that's the easiest shot when you're in that position. When you're 10 to 12 feet on the right or left side of the basket, you should use the glass. That's what it's there for. It's an easier shot than going directly to the rim.
He put a lot of loft into that shot. This is Smith on the drive for Tulsa. Mines able to corral him along with Winters. Ricky Ross now running the point. He's a forward who will handle the ball a lot. And he has a good shot from 3-point range in most circumstances. He's had his off nights at times this year. Here's Harris at the baseline. Smith had the ball tipped away from behind by Mines. Johnson able to corral. 3 turnovers for Tulsa the second half. 8 in the game.
Excuse me, Wayne. Braves have really battled back.
They could take the lead of the field goal right here. And again, the intelligent offensive setup for Bradley. They've really taken their time. They've been very patient. Very few bad shots by either side of this game, Bob.
It's been a good basketball game, and it's going to get better in the last 10 minutes, I am sure.
Halfway through the second half, 10 minutes to go.
Coach Versace buying some time here. Don't forget that Mines and Scott have 3 fouls.
Nearly taken away by Tulsa.
Harris is really doing a good job pressuring the basketball.
He's been the key defensively on this sequence. Bradley Braves work the basketball. Bradley trying for their second road win of the season, and Webster just lost it out of play. No pressure there.
Remember the comment I made earlier about his hands? That's the 4th time tonight that he's had the basketball there. He didn't lose it all 4 times. He lost it twice. But he's had the basketball in his hands, and you can see that. And one thing you want to teach a player when that's happening to him, don't tense up. Don't tighten up. That just makes it worse.
Bradley, the 2-3 zone, coach. Tulsa on the attack. This is Ty Nielsen, number 23. A Hurricane leading by a point. They've hit a bit of a scoring drought here.
Now the tempo of this game has slowed considerably.
Harris with room. Winters with position on the rebound. He had only 1 first-half rebound.
Bradley with an advantage on the break. A great pass.
Scott to Mines, and a foul. Is it offensive? I believe it is. Vince Williams had position. The man knocked to the floor.
Bradley comes out with the advantage. It's a 2-on-1. Mines joins it right here to make it 3-on-1 or 3-on-2. Misses the shot. Commits the foul. That's all bad that time for Bradley because that's the 4th foul on Barney Mines. That's
only the first foul whistled against Bradley in the second half. The Hurricane with a 1-point lead. Harris sneaking free. Ricky Ross, good move.
Good ball fake.
Willie Scott trying to get up high for the rebound, and Williams travels. Harris couldn't get out of his way. Vince Williams came down to the back of Steve Harris.
It was a good call, and he did travel, but he made a great effort. And those kinds of mistakes never disturb you as a basketball coach because that's an honest mistake and a physical mistake. It's the stupid mistakes and the mental mistakes that kill you. Harris tried to get out of the way, but he just couldn't do it.
Bradley again, an opportunity to take the lead.
Scott almost pulled the trigger on that one.
Bradley working the perimeter. Willie Scott from 3-point range.
Great
Webster
rebound.
on the rebound and a bucket. Anthony Webster has 8 points in the Braves, lead it by 1.
You wonder why a young man like that looks so good one time down the floor and so bad the next, but that's all part of immaturity and all part of being young and not experienced.
Ty Nielsen, Ricky Ross, number 24. That's Harris in the corner.
Tulsa has scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes, and the Bradley defense has had a lot to do with that.
Mike Smith waiting to report back on for the Golden Hurricane. He is the quarterback of their offense. He makes things happen.
I think they got to go to Vanley inside a little bit if they can get him the basketball. I believe they can.
Tulsa on offense, trailing by a point now. Vanley down low. Relinquishes to Ross. Nice move inside for 2. Ricky Ross has 9 points. We're seesawing now in the second half. Tulsa on top. Barney Mines is trapped.
You never want to pick the basketball up that close to the 10-second line. It's a lot easier to say that than it is to execute that sometimes. But
Bradley Braves again in their setup offense. Bradley trailing by a point. 7 minutes now left to be played. Anthony Webster had a notion from the baseline. Webster given the jumper now over Vanley. Ross keeps it alive and hauls it in. Fine effort by Ricky Ross. Ross is 6'7", but he handles the ball well. This is Steve Harris, number 20.
Tulsa being extremely patient against the zone.
We've got a foul away from the ball.
A lot of contact inside, Wayne, between Boise Winters and Bruce Vanley. I've been mentioning that. Believe me, they're pushing and shoving, and we've got some elbows flying in there. And
That's the second on winners, only the second on the team. The man I was talking about a few moments ago, Mike Smith, is in the game now for Tulsa, number 22. I really think, Bob, when Tulsa moves the ball well, he usually is at the point, controlling.
Well, the value in that means that you have the two wing shooters in Harris and Ross. That gets Harris off the point.
Smith nearly threw it away. Harris able to retrieve. 6:18 left to go in this game, and it's a one-point game in favor of Tulsa at the moment.
I think both teams are getting very cautious with their offensive attack and with the pressure they're putting on the defense. A lot of perimeter passing now. Not many interior feeds. And
Smith with room. Williams trying on the tap, and let's see, I believe Vince Williams guilty of a foul on the rebound. Appeared to be over the back of either Boise Winners or Barney Mines. Dick Versace up off the bench. Let's take a look at it.
We talk about this every week. You cannot go over the back. You cannot expect to get the basketball if you're out of position, and to try and go over the back is just not an intelligent move.
That's the first on Williams, the fifth on the team.
You're going to rebound. You got to get inside position.
Webster's cross-court feed is batted away, and Williams able to intercept for the Golden Hurricanes.
There's the pressure again by Tulsa. If they can get into it, they're able to hurt Bradley with it. But if they don't score, you don't have a dead ball situation, they cannot get into that full court pressure.
5 minutes, 34 seconds left to be played. The alley-oop down low.
They have to go to Vanley a little bit in there. A very wise timeout by Coach Versace. He's going to get control of this thing right now and emphasize to his team that they must get a good shot with this possession.
We've got 5 minutes and 23 seconds left to be played. Tulsa on top by 3. We'll be back after these local messages. The feast begins at 11 a.m. in the King's Court Dining Room, located in Tulsa at I-44 in South Peoria. The chef awaits you with country ham, baron of beef, and a tempting selection of hot entrees.
Here's this big play by Bruce Vanley inside. The basketball outside, a great alley-oop pass, and Vanley's up and in. I think they have to try to take it in there just a little bit to see if they can't back that zone if Bradley is playing down in tighter. At that point, they're great shooters. Ricky Ross and Steve Harris may get that 18-footer. But as long as Tulsa doesn't take the basketball inside, Bradley will be content to force the Tulsa offense out farther onto the floor. Good look at Coach Richardson. We've said enough things about him and about Coach Versace in terms of what they've done with their programs. The last two NIT winners right here in the Missouri Valley Conference wearing the uniforms of these two teams here tonight.
Barney Mines moves it across with the acceleration. Now Willie Scott will set up the offense.
And they will go for a good shot. You can bet that was the purpose of the timeout. To slow down the crowd a little bit and to re-emphasize patience. Look at the shooting percentages. Most impressive.
These are the Bradley Braves. They trail by 3.
Coach Versace moves them once again to a 1-4. Good look for our viewers. You see him in a 1-4. Now they'll overload aside, the left side of the floor.
Both teams better suited for the running game, it appears, Bob, but they have set up well tonight offensively.
I think that comes out of respect for one another, that they have slowed down and been so deliberate.
Booker Johnson in heavy traffic clears it away. And the round of applause in the background for the Tulsa defense. Mines from deep with a shot. Ricky Ross has the rebound. Quickly the traffic clears, and Ross will move it across. Now the Hurricane clinging to a 3-point lead with 4 minutes left to be played.
I wouldn't be surprised that tonight we get into the actionless game rule here. You can just feel that that's going to happen.
Smith is at the point for Tulsa, number 22.
Tulsa's not going to worry about taking any bad shots or doing anything crazy at this point with a 3-point lead and less than 4 minutes to play. A lot of time on the clock for Bradley, but Tulsa will be careful.
3:35, the clock a factor. They're going to play catch, it appears, in the backcourt for a while.
Bradley just picked up man-to-man. Came out of the zone, is not going to let time run off the clock. They're going to challenge him with a man-to-man defense.
Well, Bob, when you're down by 3 at this juncture in the game, you really can't wait for the clock.
Whatever you do is don't panic.
Play good, fundamental defense.
Harris with a nice move.
And they didn't play bad defense right there. Harris made a great shot.
Willie Scott dishes off to Winters. Bradley's back to within 3. Boise has 18 points. Full court pressure by Bradley. Here's the alley-oop feed.
Beautiful pass.
Well, the action is picking up right now.
Coach Richardson up on his feet, leading chairs and really happy. Great play by the Hurricanes.
Willie Scott will slow things down. His team trailing by 5. The crowd comes alive here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Scott from three-point range, and he's got one.
The value of the three-pointer. Right back to a 2-point basketball game.
Smith playing ahead to Harris. Manley to Vince Williams, and back outside they come to Ricky Ross. Now the Hurricane will set it up.
They'll be patient. Bradley stays man-to-man.
2-point ball game, and we've got a foul coming up. It's on Booker Johnson trying to fight through the pick of Vince Williams, and on Johnson, that personal foul number 3.
Booker Johnson gets the foul, but I do not believe the pick was called by Rosie Davidson right there. No question about the call. That is a foul.
Davison never let him know, it appeared.
Nolan Richardson wants to talk to him.
Now we've got a break in the action as Nolan Richardson brings in his Tulsa Golden Hurricane. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to be played here in Tulsa. This one will go down to the wire as usual, as most Bradley-Tulsa matchups do. Maybe we'll get a chance to listen in on the Tulsa huddle.
You can bet that Coach Richardson, the number one thing you want to do at this point with a ball out of bounds on the side, and this comes first and is frequently overlooked by fans, get the ball in bounds. Make sure that you get the basketball in bounds. There's Coach Versace talking to his people. Let's see what we can hear.
Switch and step out. Take it. And make the switch.
It's your man, and the other guy drops in on the man.
Get your help start on the backside.
Switch the screen.
Hey, if anybody is you're switching the screen at the high post.
Step out and take them or take the charge.
Hey, we got plenty of fouls now, so be aggressive. Don't let anybody go to the basket. Get in front of them and get a charge. Come on, man. Come on. Stay back. Do it. Come on, do it.
Well, you heard it as well as I did. The foul situation for Bradley is in their favor. Tulsa is not in the 1-and-1. They are going to attempt to switch on a pick that Tulsa will set. Tulsa will try to screen a Bradley player. Bradley's going to try to switch when that screen is set and see if they can't draw a charging foul. Let's see what happens. Tulsa's objective, as I mentioned, get the ball in bounds first, and then I'm sure spread that defense, run time off the clock.
Vince Williams on the inbounds has to call another timeout. He could not inbound it. Good man-to-man pressure that time by the Bradley Braves.
And that's valuable as far as the Braves are concerned, because it means that Tulsa was just a little bit hesitant, and Tulsa loses a timeout that they might want inside 30 seconds before this thing is all over with. Scoring-wise here, we've got 18 points for Boise Winters, and Webster has 8, all in the second half, and I think it's the reason that Bradley's back in this thing. Let's listen to Coach Richardson.
Move. Just trying to stand there and ask for it on a little loud pass. That's what they're stealing. We got to get movement. All right? Same thing here. You two guys that are down here, these teams are having bad go to that ball. Get to the front of that man. Let's go.
Talking about movement, Tulsa needs to get more of it.
And attempting to stress that do not try to get yourself open working away from the basketball. Move toward the basketball, meet the pass. You do not want to work away from the pass because that gives the defense a chance to anticipate and cut in. Let's see if they get it in bounds.
Each side has 2 timeouts remaining. Again, Vince Williams on the inbounds. Rosie Davison defending on the sidelines, number 21 in red. This time Ricky Ross gets it, and he's called for steps. Dragged the pivot foot.
Good pressure by Bradley. Tulsa did get it in bounds, but he caught it. He juggled the ball a little bit, and then in the process, he pulled the right foot, which was his pivot foot.
2 minutes left to go. Bradley could tie right here. This is Willie Scott, number 3.
Shot selection's the key here. Shot selection.
Winters had a notion.
If you get a good shot and don't make it, you can live with that as a coach. But if you take a bad one, you don't live with that. Your hair just gets grayer.
Bradley Braves on offense, trying to tie the ball game. Minute 34 to go. We're at the Assembly Center in Tulsa. Bradley hasn't won here since 1977. Johnson short. Johnson on the follow. And a foul coming up.
Wayne, he did not take a good initial shot, but he did follow his shot and get the ball back. It was fortunate for Bradley that that ball came back toward the shooter, because the law of averages and percentages are not indicative of that fact. But he did follow the shot and get the ball back.
Vince Williams hit with personal foul number 2. That is the 6th on the team. Booker Johnson at the line. He has scored 8 points. He hears it from the crowd, and his first circles the cylinder. He'll have another and a chance to tie the count right here. A minute 23 to go. We saw these two teams last year go double overtime in Peoria. Bradley is now 6 of 6 as a team from the free throw line.
And they go to full court pressure.
Super ball game. It is tied at 60. A minute 20 to go. Smith clears it to Vince Williams.
Will they wait for a final shot? You want to take it in a situation like this. The home team in a tied score should try to take it inside.
Smith inside of the ball, stripped away, but Williams able to recover. There's the time at the top of your screen. The Golden Hurricane. Ross on the muscle, and Johnson did not have position. Ross hit the layup, but the whistle came long before the shot attempt. That is the 4th personal foul on Booker Johnson, and the 4th on the team.
Bradley called that timeout early, Wayne. I'm a little bit surprised. I think in a situation like that, with a score tied and 55 seconds on the clock, you want to allow that free throw shooter to get to the line, let everybody line up along the lane, wait as long as you can, then call the timeout and try to ice that free throw shooter. You may gain another 20 seconds that he has to think about it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's something you want to try. Let's listen to Coach Richardson if we can hear him.
Going out of bounds, and then probably take the ball out of bounds under the basket. Ask the official, can you move?
That's a good point.
Move back. You got a straight line. What's the charge?
Two major points so far. He wants them to ask the official if they can move out of bounds, and they can if Bradley scores. Number 2, he told them not to charge. Notice how calm he is.
Dick Versace on the other side. He too is calm. Tony Baroni. 2 Versaces left on the right side of your screen.
I'll tell you, if you have any experience in this business, that's the time at which you want to be calm. It's very difficult to be in that position as a coach, hollering at your players. Now, don't lose your poise. And as you holler at them, they're looking back at you saying, hey, coach, what's the matter with you?
Well, these are 2 of the finest coaching staffs in the country, Bob. I really mean that. Their teams go into games prepared beyond belief. I mean, they're at least prepared going into every game they play. They may not always play as well as the coaches would like, but they are prepared well.
It's been a good basketball game. 60-60 with 55 seconds on the clock.
This is Vince Williams on the trigger at the baseline. Number 32 for Tulsa. Bruce Stanley back outside of Ross. They set up at the point. That is Smith, number 22. Time ever so much a factor. 45 seconds remaining. A lot of contact, and a foul coming up on Willie Scott. Scott and Smith bumping all the way. That is the 4th on Willie Scott, the 5th on the team.
And what a factor that has been. That is only the 4th personal foul this half. Tulsa a ways to go to get in the 1-and-1.
Smith nearly took the inbounds pass to the midcourt strike. Guarded by Barney Mines now. Got a pick from Williams. Scott nearly took it away. Smith able to pick up and feed Bentley. Swatted away and scored the field goal. Yes, it counts.
Goaltending is the call. Boy, if we could see that again.
Boy, I don't know.
Goaltending called against the Braves. 62-60 in favor of Tulsa.
Ron Setcher was very definite with his call. And perhaps we can see it again.
The clock is messed up again.
Here it is.
60 minutes. Look at it again. Vanley up on the shot. We couldn't see.
The
clock was right there. The clock on the screen is right. The clock here at the Assembly Center in Tulsa reads time remaining 60 minutes and 30 seconds, and we know that's incorrect.
Now, there it is, all set up. 30 seconds to go. Plenty of time to set up for a good shot, Coach.
30 seconds remaining.
Number one, Bradley must get the basketball in bounds, and they have enough time that they can get it in, moving away from their basket if they have to, because 30 seconds is plenty of time to get it into the front court and set up. Will Tulsa change its defense? They might come out of that zone and play man-to-man, trying to disrupt the continuity of Bradley's offense. We'll have to wait and see. One thing they're going to do is pressure the basketball to run time off the clock. They'll pressure the ball, try and make it as difficult on Bradley as possible, make them take as much time in the backcourt as they can in hopes that they get in a hurry.
This crowd is on their feet. On the inbound, Johnson gets it away to Davison.
They just barely got it in bounds.
Here's Willie Scott.
They've got plenty of time now.
Barney Mines in traffic, hands it off the glass.
He can use the glass. Tulsa's got time, and they take the timeout.
You see the time remaining at the top of your screen. Again, we'll keep it right here in Tulsa. Perhaps pick up on one of the huddles.
Life in the Valley of Death.
Well, Barney Mines, we saw him at Normal, Illinois, hit on a drive to beat Illinois State in the final seconds. And again, he did it at Creighton this year. Here he ties the game.
All right. Smith, I want you to the second man. Bruce, I want you to the last man. Bruce, what you're going to do is go this way. Now watch yourself. Keep going this way. Mike, fake this way. Go back, get the ball. This man here. Watch the charge, whatever. This is Harris. Same way with you. You go toward the ball. You're going to get far enough going toward the ball. So see, if you get it over here, you don't have to shot that quick. We got 15 seconds, but we got Bruce on this side who will be coming around posting up. You don't have it, then we just want to run it down until we get one shot on it. 15 seconds and trying to go to the basket to score off it. All right? All right, now everybody understand. Third man is you, safety man. When that man's going that way, you hesitate, try to go toward the ball.
We can see that they'll line up right behind the basketball, one behind another. It looks like the pass is going to come into Smith. Smith is then going to look for Harris on the left side of the floor. Vanley will break through the basket. If he's open, he'll get the ball. If not, there will be a cutter that will come directly off of Vanley toward Harris, who has the basketball. Don't be surprised if you see Harris get the shot. There's a lot of time left. 15 seconds. Main objective, as I've mentioned, I hate to be repetitious, get the ball in bounds.
Each side has one timeout remaining.
Looks like Bradley's going to stay man-to-man.
This is Ricky Ross, number 24. Tulsa on the attack. Ross has the step, blocked from behind, and a foul. The foul is on Booker Johnson. That is 5.
Here's Ross on the penetration to the basket. We see Johnson come up behind him. He got part of the basketball. He must have gotten part of the shooter. Ricky Ross, too, because Ross will go to the line for 2. It's also unfortunate because Tulsa is not yet in the 1-and-1, but they will get to shoot 2 free throws because of being fouled.
Ricky Ross shooting at 77.8% in Valley play, 78% overall on the season. He is 2 of 2 at the line tonight, has 9 points.
He's a good free throw shooter.
6 seconds remaining.
Bradley has plenty of time for a shot, should he make both of them. Tulsa will pressure. If they make the free throw, they'll pressure against the Braves, trying to run time off the clock.
Ricky Ross for a 2-point lead. He's got it. Bradley has to hurry.
They'll get a shot.
Twice and a block on the play by Vince Williams. Williams drives the court as time expires. Willie Scott got it off, but Vince Williams knocked it away. And Tulsa wins it. 64-62. Head coach Nolan Richardson. His team now has won 7 of their last 8. They are now 7-5 in Valley play, 13-8 overall.
Good look at Coach Richardson there. Polka dot night in Tulsa, and they're going to celebrate. A great win for the Golden Hurricanes, but an excellent basketball game. Bradley played a very fine second half, coming back from a 7-point deficit. 64-62 is the final.
Final comments coming up. This is the Missouri Valley Basketball Network.
My American friends introduced me to my favorite beer, light beer from Miller. Now I'm introducing them to my favorite food. With nachos, the best thing about light is it tastes great.
Not bad.
With enchiladas, the best thing is it's got a third less calories than the regular beer. With burritos, the best thing is it's less filling.
Carlos, what's this?
And with jalapeno peppers, the best thing about light is it's cold.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The Buick Skyhawk comes by its name very honestly. Hawks are known, after all, for their power and maneuverability, and their form enables them to move through the air with ease. Also, like its namesake, Skyhawk shares a certain indefinable spirit of freedom unmatched by any other car anywhere. Buick Skyhawk, with electronic fuel-injected power, front-wheel drive. All in all, a very civilized Hawk indeed. Capture one at your Buick dealer.